Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be looking into the difference between the traditional development and machine learning. So first we'll look into the development process. In the development process, initially, the most important step is first to get the input. So the input here can be in the form of user interaction, the data which we get from user interaction. For example, the data which is being provided by the users in the form of fields. Okay, it can be a button clicks, keyboard or mouse input, or any kind of a file upload. It can be a voice command or a sensor data from the GPS. Okay, so all kind of data which is being given by the user when they are interacting with a kind of an application. So we got this input. Then there are certain business logics. We also call this as a requirement. So then there are business logic, business logic. Okay, and these business logic are basically a kind of a set of predefined rules which is being developed based upon the user interaction, and or we can say all kind of a what should be the behavior of the particular application based upon the input provided. So when we consider this input, okay, so we have this input. Let me show you. We have this input, we have this business logic. Okay, so then based upon the input and the business logic, okay, the developers, they develop the program. So the developers, they write a set of code, or you can say the code basically contains the kind of an instruction set of instructions. So we have this program. Okay, it contains a lot of code. Okay, it can be a set of instructions to perform and to give the desired input based upon the user interaction. Okay, and this program, based upon the input and the business logic which is being provided, okay, produces the output. That produces the desired output. Okay, so let's take a simple example. Uh, when we talk about, let's say, output, please ignore my handwriting because I'm no new to this particular tool. Okay, so what happens here is I can let's see it in a very simple word. Like, let's say you are on a payment page. Okay, and where you are supposed to provide your details. So what you did, you provide the user provided the input details. So here the input details will be in the form of a card. Okay, the card number, CVV, and all kind of these things. Okay, and then there are certain business logic, or we can say kind of a validations. Okay, like if the card details are correct, if they are not correct. Okay, what kind of card details are there, which is a Mastercard or Visa card. All kind of a business logic are being written here. Okay, and based upon that, based upon this, okay, the program is being developed. Okay, and this program contains the logic based upon the business requirement or the business logic and the input data. Let's say there may be different conditions in the program. If there is a Mastercard, then the application needs to behave in a this way. If it's a Visa card, it needs to behave in a this way. Okay, and then it provides the output. So output here will be going to the payment confirmation page that your transaction has been successful with it with the message of successful transaction. So this is how a simple development process works. Okay, and now let's move and let's see uh, how does the machine learning works. So when we talk about machine learning, okay, so let me first clear this out. So I cleared this. Let me clear, and then we can see the process of machine learning. Okay, so when we talk about machine learning, so machine learning basically depends upon the historical data. So the first precondition is the first process, or you can say, is to get the required data. So required data is in the form of a historical data. Okay, so historical data on which we want to develop our machine learning model. Historical data. Okay, so let me clear this. It's not clear. So let me clear this one. Okay, so we will first look into the historical data. So first step is to get the historical data. Okay, so historical data contains the data on which we want to build the machine learning application. Historical data. Next is this historical data contains the input data. Okay, and then also which is important is the historical data also contains some of the output. The the output, or you can say the expected output. Expected output. expected output. Okay, so the first important step is here is to get the historical data. Okay, the data, let's say we are going to do the prediction of whether a person has a pneumonia or not. Okay, so we get the historical data from of all the patient from the past 2 years. Okay, and then based historical data contains the input data. Okay, and then the output data. Okay, based upon that whether the person has a diabetes or a person has pneumonia or not. Okay, so on these two datas, okay, it is being fed to the machine learning model. Okay, so machine learning model, ML model, what it does, it interacts with this particular data. Okay, it learns from this particular data. Okay, and how does it learns? Because every machine learning model is based upon, it contains a certain logic, and this logic is based upon the mathematical equation. Okay, so this historical data, which also contains the input data and the expected output. So the machine learning model is being trained on this particular on this particular data. Okay, and it produces the output. Okay, you can say output, you can say intermediate output. Now here what happens here is we compare the output, okay, which we have received from our machine learning model, and we compare it with the expected output. So this is called as the training phase. Here when we are training our machine learning model on the historical data with the expected output, and we get the output from the machine learning model, we compare this output, okay, which is being provided from the model, okay, and the expected output, we compare it, and we compare it using some kind of a statistical measure. Okay, if we say that our statistical measure is good, our output is good, our output is satisfactory, so then what happens here is this particular machine learning model, which can be also considered as the machine learning inference. So basically machine learning inference is inference refers to the trained model, which is already being trained, and which is giving us a satisfied answer. Okay, or which is giving us a better result. Okay, so this machine learning inference is being again fit to the input data, is being provided the input data. So we get one more input data here. Okay, this input data is basically input data. Okay, this particular input data is basically, it's being fed to the machine learning inference. Okay, and it produces the desired predictions. So this input data which is being fed to the machine learning inference is basically the data, or we can say the future data on which we want to do the predictions. Okay, so this is our output, this is our predictions. Okay, so basically sorry, so what happens here is we get the historical data. This historical data contains sorry, this historical data contains the input data and the expected output. Uh, and on this particular data, which contains the expected output, our machine learning model is being trained. Okay, once and we check the output with compared with the expected output. If we feel that okay, our machine learning model is giving us a better result, so then what we do, that particular machine learning model or the trained machine learning model, which is also called as the machine learning inference, okay, is being productionized, and the input data is being fed here. Input data basically here is the data on which we want to do the prediction, which doesn't has the output. Okay, which is the kind of a future data on which we want to do the prediction, and this it gives us the predictions. And here once we get the predictions, so this prediction is always being under we get the feedback from the end users, okay, or from the customers or from the stakeholders, and they tell us, okay, that how good is our predictions. Okay, and then this predictions, okay, if it is being good, then it is being again included back. Okay, this is based upon the feedback, it is being provided to this particular historical data. Okay, it's being added to the historical data, and then our machine learning model is again trained with the new data. Okay, so this is a kind of a cyclic process. The most important thing is to look at the feedback and change our data accordingly. So it's a continuous process. Okay, and it requires a lot of interaction with the stakeholders, with the people from the business who are the subject matter expert, who have a better domain knowledge. So this is how the machine learning works. So I hope everyone is clear with this. Thanks a lot for watching this video.